La Llorona. La Llorona is the most widespread legend among those I have called classic. La Llorona is a disheveled woman who wanders at night along the banks of the rivers, giving pitiful moans and whose encounter is fatal for the traveler. Prototype. The people say that La Llorona was a woman who drowned her son to flee with a man, but she does not remember where she did it. And as a punishment from God she goes looking for him where there is water. This unfortunate woman travels the world in desperate search for her son. She wanders the streets and boundaries of cities and fields. Every time she screams she does it 3 times in a row. Her lament is long and sharp. The people who listen to her feel the cold of the unknown in the blood. La Llorona mourns the loss of her son, and calls him, that is what he says while you think you hear a simple scream. And, it goes by so fast that you feel the air in your dress. Physical traits. When reviewing all the versions of the legend, the physical traits that are discovered of La Llorona are the following. A woman dressed in black who screams desperately in the laundries, the rivers and in the places where there is water. More defined features cannot be specified. Because this supernatural being is not looked at, it is only heard. Her scream is creepy. Ice the heart. Relations with men. La Llorona rarely comes into direct contact with men. Generally, its effect is indirect. It is her cry that shakes and pales even the bravest and most atheistic of men. It is because of this lament that man is aware of her influence and her presence. They tell in the neighborhoods of the city that when you hear the Llorona you stick a big scare. The old men say that when you hear the first scream you are so scared that you can no longer walk. But you have to make the effort to get out running. Because if he hears the third scream, and finds it in the same place, surely he will win it over you. Quote. Practices and amulets. At the moment of hearing the first cry of La Llorona, the man must bite a medal, a cross, or any metal object. Practices similar to those that counter the power of La Siganaba. Furthermore, at this level it has protective effects to entrust oneself to God, or to make the sign of the cross in the void of night. But the most effective magic practice is to shake a woman's hand with force, since, as La Llorona is a woman, she does no harm to women, because it is her son she is looking for and not a woman. According to the collected versions, La Llorona does not harm the man personally. It only arouses her scream. And to counteract such a state of fright, all the listed practices are directed. Variants. After analyzing the versions collected with the prototype of this legend, there are 2 variants. In the first, La Llorona can only be heard lamenting and crying, and when her scream is heard close, it is far away, and if heard far it is close. Quote. In this variant, its influence is secondary, it does not go beyond the fright of the affected person. On the other hand, in the second variant, the situation is different because when in addition to hearing La Llorona scream, one looks at her, there one is left dead. There have been people who have seen her and are alive. Say that she is a woman dressed in black that rises through the skies and then disappears, screams and appears somewhere else. In these moments, both in Guatemala and somewhere in Latin America, La Llorona will be walking along the riverbanks, looking for her son, and there will be those who are scared to hear her screams.